8 a.m. daily, Brooke answered. It's not yet 8. That means the fire started before your operating hours. Dustin was frowning as he continued, Dr. Bush, was there anyone inside Harmony Healers when you left? No. Brooke shook his head. Harper went out with her friends last night and hasn't returned yet. It's also quite early, so the students haven't arrived yet. Dr. Bush, I don't think this fire was an accident. Dustin was deep in contemplation. After a moment, he concluded, Harmony Healers wasn't open for business, and the alchemy room wasn't in use. The chances of an accidental fire are relatively low. The fact that the fire started right after you left the building seems too coincidental. I believe this fire was deliberate. What? Harmony Healers was deliberately set on fire? Brooke was seething in anger. I've dedicated my life to doing good deeds and helping people. I've never done anything to hurt anyone. Who could be so heartless as to set Harmony Healers on fire? Having spent decades working as a doctor, he had always done his duty of saving lives and helping those in need. Brooke never even charged a penny for treating the poor. He believed he had a clear conscience before God and his patients. He could never have imagined that the good deeds he had done all his life would lead to this. It was disheartening to think how half of his life's work had been reduced to nothing but ashes by someone. Dr. Bush, even though I can't be completely certain, I do have a suspect in mind, Dustin suddenly said. Who is it? Which evil person did such a thing? Brooke's blood boiled. The Swansons, Dustin spat out coldly. The Swansons. Brooke was taken aback, appearing deep in thought. Although they had no proof, Dustin's accusation was not baseless. In order to gain control of Harmony Healers, they employed various means, including coercion and bribery, to achieve their goal. Even Ziggy, who caused a scene at Harmony Healers 2 days ago, was sent by the Swansons. The Swansons was the prime suspect in setting the fire. They destroyed Harmony Healers just because they couldn't get their hands on it. They're absolutely despicable. Brooke was shaking in anger. How could he not be angry when decades of his hard work were reduced to ashes? Beep beep. Suddenly, a white Maserati came to a stop by the roadside. The passenger door opened, and Zion stepped out. He ran to the rear door, courteously assisting Ezra and Eleanor out of the car. Meanwhile, the firefighters were still working hard to extinguish the flames. Dark smoke enveloped the area, and dust swirled in the air. Ezra stepped out with an umbrella, shielding Eleanor from the intrusive sunlight. Oh my, what's going on here? Why is the building up in flames? Ezra covered his mouth and nose with a handkerchief and put on a surprised front. He continued in a sarcastic tone, Oh, Dr. Bush, how can you be so careless? Just look at this. The most famous clinic in South City was destroyed just like that. What a pity. You dash. Brooke gritted his teeth. He was about to retort when he noticed several bodyguards standing behind Ezra. The Swansons were an influential family with deep roots in South City. Even if they were responsible for the fire, there wasn't much he could do. There was no way Brooke could take them on. Firstly, he didn't have the evidence. Secondly, he wasn't strong enough to fight them. Dr. Bush, you're getting old. It's time for you to retire anyway. What's the point of holding on to Harmony Healers so dearly? In my opinion, the fire was probably a blessing in disguise. You finally can enjoy a peaceful retirement. So, you were the one who started the fire, Dustin suddenly accused. Hey there. Watch your words. I can sue you for defamation with your baseless accusations. Ezra smirked. Dustin, we meet again. Eleanor approached him with mixed feelings. Thank you for treating my grandfather. The Welsh owe you a favor. I can't afford such a favor, Dustin replied nonchalantly. What? Eleanor frowned slightly before regaining her composure. She took out a check and wrote a few figures on it. Passing it to Dustin, she said, This is a check for 2 million. Consider it a token of appreciation from the Welsh family. 2 million. Dustin received the check and glanced at it. He then continued impassively, Ms. Welsh, you're quite generous. It is as expected of an heiress of a wealthy family. Unfortunately, I'm not interested in your money. With that, he raised his hand. The check glided with the wind before landing precisely in the fire, turning into ashes. What? Eleanor's expression turned ugly as she watched the check burn. It was one thing to reject her offer, but setting the check ablaze was just an act of disrespect and humiliation toward her. Hey, Reese, what's the meaning of this? Ezra was upset by Dustin's actions. He yelled, Eleanor was generous enough to give you money. Don't be ungrateful. So just because you gave me money, I should accept it. What do you take me for? A beggar? Dustin scoffed. His opinion of the Welsh family had taken a nosedive. From the way Eleanor used him yesterday to the way the Welsh tried to kill him today, he finally realized the true nature of these people. Just look at your behavior. It's no different than a beggar. Ezra looked at him in disdain. Another derogatory word from that mouth of yours, and I'll beat you up. Dustin's gaze grew colder. You dash. Ezra was about to rip him a new one when Eleanor raised her hand to stop him. She stared at Dustin in silence. Her eyes reflected her mixed feelings. Dustin, do you have to act this way? We could have been friends. Why do you keep ruining your opportunities? Ms. Welsh, as I said before, your status is far beyond my reach. Let's forget about being friends, Dustin said indifferently. The word friends sounded extremely jarring, coming from her mouth. Eleanor, this guy is a lost cause. Why bother with him? Ezra shook his head. Fine. Since you don't see me as a friend, let's not have anything to do with each other moving forward. Eleanor took a deep breath, and her expression grew colder. As the dignified lady and wealthy heiress of the Welsh family, she had never been wronged or mistreated, no matter where she went. She had shown remarkable kindness in lowering herself to allow Dustin to apologize and make amends. However, he clearly wasn't appreciative and didn't seem to care. What an ungrateful bastard he was. As you wish, Ms. Welsh, Dustin replied, unfazed. Bastard. Do you really think you can make it in Oakvale without Eleanor's support? How naive. Ezra sneered. He had been restraining himself for Eleanor's sake, but since they had fallen out, he saw no reason to hold back any longer. Right then, Eleanor shifted her attention to Brooke. Dr. Bush, we sympathize with your situation. She put on a facade and continued, since you helped my grandfather in the past, I've decided to offer my help this time. What do you mean by that, Ms. Welsh? Brooke's brows had been set in a frown throughout their conversation. Harmony Healers is destroyed and can never regain its former glory. Instead of spending your days protecting this wasteland, it would be wiser to sell it sooner. Eleanor stated seriously, considering our past relationship, I'm willing to purchase Harmony Healers from you at market value to help you through this difficult time. After all that, it was about Harmony Healers all along. Brooke's expression darkened. He was only suspicious earlier, but he was certain now. It was undeniable that the pair of them had a hand in the arson at Harmony Healers. Dr. Bush, please get things straight. I'm here to help you. Eleanor emphasized, Harmony Healers is in ruins and practically worthless. I'm willing to buy it at market value as a sign of respect. All I want is for you to retire without any worries. That's right, Dr. Bush. You're already in your 80s. It's time to have a well-deserved rest. With a significant sum of money, you'll be able to live a life of luxury and enjoy your retirement. What's not to like? Ezra chimed in. Why you dash? Brooke's hands were trembling, and his face turned crimson with anger. First, they set Harmony Healers on fire, and now they had the audacity to make a lowball offer. They were even justifying it as help. These people were the worst. Dr. Bush, selling Harmony Healers would be the wisest decision. Besides, aside from us, nobody else will buy it, Eleanor advised in a gentle tone. The Welshs and the Swansons controlled the entire South City. Who would dare take over Harmony Healers without their permission? I'm not selling. Not over my dead body. Don't even think about taking Harmony Healers away from me, Brooke yelled in frustration.